I would describe myself as an artist who is just trying to make things work. My business is basically creative metalwork. I build furniture, I do custom fabrication, I solve problems architecturally and otherwise for other people.
This is Doug Meyer, the man behind the vision and work and creativity that is Rust Belt Rebirth. You might have seen his work around Warren and in local restaurants like Urban Tap.
I help other people realize their visions with certain projects, and I also have my own thing that I'm constantly working on, which is my own furniture design and sculpture work. And just whatever arises out of that, we make that happen here.
The here that Doug is referring to is his workspace and studio that is hidden on the west side of Warren.
It's the end of a dead-end street and nobody even comes down here, so it's the jewel of the hood.
Within the 5,800 square foot facility, Doug has the space he needs to do what he does best, which is to work on his own terms. This highly skilled welder by trade took a leap of faith in 2010 to let his creative side make his skilled labor side stronger.
I always felt most comfortable playing Legos, so this is really just an extension of my childhood comfort zone. I was always the burr on the butt of any employer I ever had. I can never be on time anywhere. I have no sense of timing. And I'm productive. I was always great at wherever I was at, but I could not always follow directions to a T, or I had a better idea of how to do things, and people didn't like to hear that when there's this hierarchy. And to me, we're all equal, so it didn't mesh with me. So I knew I would eventually have to find my own thing, and I've always been working toward that.
So much of Doug's work is a collaboration these days, but there are some pieces that are all him. Take the largest skull in Warren, for example.
So the sculpture playground was a small part of a larger idea I had for a whole entire playground that would be sculpturally functional playground objects. And I built that for all the kids in the neighborhood. It started off with the skull, which was a dome jungle gym, which I pulled out of the scrap yard and remanufactured into a skull, because the dome is already there. The skull is just waiting to be put together. So that was easy. It was fun.
And then there are furniture pieces that he builds and sells through high-end home magazines, and the projects he works on with architects as well as interior designers.
I have a website. It's rustbeltrebirthfurniture.com. I'm on Instagram at Rust Belt Rebirth. I'm on Facebook at Rust Belt Rebirth.
Okay.
Google Rust Belt Rebirth. I guarantee you'll find me.
At the end of each day and each project, in between the metal and the machines and the perceived madness, is a man who accomplished a mission, and that means taking a moment to reflect on it all.
I'm doing exactly what I've wanted to do with my life, the thing that I've dreamed of doing my whole entire life. So you might call that the American dream. I call it the fulfillment of the human will. And that's Maslow would call that self-actualization. I'm not enlightened now, don't get it mixed up. I still have my failures as a person, as a human being, but I am doing that thing that I've wanted to do, and precisely because I've always shot for it.